Unbearable, isn't it? That gnawing feeling when you can't seem to make a decision. It sits there, heavy in your chest, like a weight you can't shake off. You see, today I want to talk about something many of us wrestle with: indecisiveness. That quiet but persistent companion that slips into your mind at the worst moments, making you question every choice, no matter how small. And here's the part you may not expect. It's not just a mental nuisance. It's not just an inconvenience of the mind. No, my dear friends, indecisiveness can manifest in your body, in your muscles, in your back, in your very bones. It's quite remarkable, really, how something so seemingly abstract can cause very real physical pain. Now you might think I'm being dramatic. How could indecision, a simple inability to choose, be the source of your physical discomfort? But think about it. Picture a moment of intense indecision. Maybe you're standing in front of two paths, figuratively or literally, and you can't decide which one to take. You hesitate, your mind spinning with options, pros and cons, what ifs and maybes. The more you think, the more paralyzed you become. And that paralysis, my friends, doesn't stay confined to your mind. No, it seeps into your body. Let me tell you a story. I once knew a man. Let's call him Daniel. Daniel was brilliant, a sharp mind, full of ideas, full of potential. But there was one problem. Daniel couldn't make a decision to save his life. Every choice, no matter how trivial, became a monumental task. Should he take the job offer in another city? Should he buy this house or that one? Even deciding where to have lunch could spiral into a frustrating ordeal. His mind would race, bouncing from option to option, until he was completely overwhelmed. And here's the interesting part. Daniel started to experience physical symptoms: back pain, headaches, tension in his shoulders. He'd been to doctors, many in fact, who told him it was stress, nothing more. But it wasn't just any stress, you see. It was the stress of indecision. The more choices he faced, the more his body ached. He was, quite literally, trapped in his own inability to act. Now, why is this? Why does indecisiveness cause us physical pain? Well, think about it. The human body craves movement, forward motion, certainty. It's how we're built. In the wild, in our primal days, indecision could be deadly. Should I run or fight? Should I hide or climb? The longer you hesitated, the closer danger crept. Your body was wired to act, to move. Indecision, on the other hand, keeps you stuck, stagnant. And stagnation, as we know, leads to tension, both mental and physical. Imagine your body as a bowstring, pulled tight but never released. The tension builds and builds and builds, until it manifests as pain. A stiff neck, an aching back, a knot in your stomach, all because your mind can't decide whether to release the string or keep holding it in place. That tension you feel in your muscles, that's your body waiting for you to act, to choose. And the longer you wait, the more your body rebels against the paralysis. But we all know a Daniel, don't we? Maybe you are a Daniel. Maybe you've felt that creeping ache in your shoulders after a long day of thinking but never quite deciding, or that weight in your chest when you've delayed a difficult conversation, leaving the choice hanging in the air like an unwelcome guest. And you wonder why you feel so drained, so exhausted, even when you've done nothing but think. But here's the thing. Indecisiveness isn't just about not knowing which choice is right. No, it's deeper than that. Indecisiveness is often rooted in fear. Fear of making the wrong choice. Fear of consequences. Fear of the unknown. And that fear, it's what causes your body to seize up. You're not just unsure, you're afraid of the decision itself. And that fear locks you in place, both mentally and physically. If we were honest with ourselves, we'd admit that most indecision comes from the fear of loss. The fear that choosing one option means losing the other. And that fear of loss, however irrational, ties us in knots. We try to hold on to both possibilities, refusing to let go of either, and in doing so, we hold on to the tension itself. That tension builds, spreads through the body like a slow poison, until even the simplest of decisions feels impossible. So what can we do? How do we break free from the cycle of indecision and the pain it causes? It's simple, really. You must choose, not perfectly, not without doubt, but simply. Because here's the truth. The body craves resolution. Even a wrong choice is better than no choice at all. When you finally decide, when you take a step, any step, your body begins to relax. The tension eases. The pain dissipates. Because at last, the bowstring has been released. It's not about making the perfect decision every time. It's about trusting yourself enough to act, to move forward, to let go of the fear that has kept you paralyzed. And once you do, you'll find that the weight you've been carrying, both in your mind and in your body, begins to lift. Because indecisiveness isn't just a mental state, it's a physical one too. So the next time you feel that familiar ache, that heaviness in your muscles, that dull throb in your head, ask yourself, what choice am I avoiding? What decision have I left hanging in the air, unresolved? And then, my dear friends, choose, for your own sake, for your body's sake. After all, life is nothing more than a series of choices. And the pain you feel, it's just your body reminding you that it's time to make one. Ah, the remarkable connection between the mind and the body. So fragile, so powerful, and yet so easily healed with a single choice.